Finding your why is critical. It's the ability to connect the dots between what you do each and every day and a higher purpose. Something beyond just going to work or doing a job. Our why is what drives us, inspires others, and allows us to persevere in those difficult moments. To put it simply, when you find your why, you love what you do. Given that you're going to spend about 60% of your waking hours in your profession, this is pretty important. According to a Deloitte study, half of you are already expecting to leave your first job in the next 24 months. It's not just a millennial thing. A recent Gallup poll showed that 9 out of 10 Americans do not find meaning in what they do for a job. 90% of us. So how do you find meaning in what you do? How do you find your why? Well, let me tell you about my journey to find my why. My first job was going okay until I upset our largest client. I wrote a memo that laid out in painstaking detail why our client's CEO had a severely flawed strategy. To say that memo didn't go over well would be an understatement. Apparently, the CEO of the 9th largest company in America didn't appreciate a 24-year-old's opinion on how to run his business. After that memo, my days in my first job were numbered. So after that debacle, I found myself back in school again. And shortly after that, I was running a manufacturing company. And to be honest, I ran it quite poorly. At the ripe age of 27 years old, I decided I had all the experiences I needed to buy my own business. My goal was to fund the purchase of this business myself. So I maxed out 10 credit cards, took a loan from a high school buddy, and my lovely wife worked 3 jobs. It wasn't nearly enough money. I had to find investors to purchase my first company. We built so much trust running that first company that my investors continued supporting me. With their backing, we purchased a number of companies. And given that these purchases were investments, we would eventually sell each company. We created a lot of money for our investors and rang up some of the best returns in the industry. Deep down, I had no idea why I was doing it. I couldn't get my arms around why this path I had chosen was so important to me. I'm wondering if some of you feel the same way today. I found myself unfulfilled after selling a company. I hated parting with them because we put so much of ourselves into building the companies and developed such deep relationships with the teams that ran them. I wanted to find a way to keep the businesses forever. So that day, I got our entire management team together. I had them write their eulogy. But I needed to know what they wanted to be remembered for 20, 30, or 40 years from now. Nobody mentioned making a lot of money for our investors. Shockingly, nobody was excited about having on their tombstone, we had the best returns in the industry. But what they did talk about was building a company that would long outlast us, something future generations would be proud of. That day we formed Madison Industries. And as hard as that was, we were so excited to be building something that would be here 100 years from now. Future generations are counting on us because every product we create and every service we provide makes the world safer, healthier, and more productive. Building a company that will long outlast me is a big part of my why. It took me years to find my why. And for me, it wasn't like the movies where one day I had that dramatic and magical aha moment. I had to work really hard, with many sleepless nights and long hours of detailed work that often didn't feel all that inspiring. I would love to give you a checklist today to help you find your why, but life can't be reduced to a checklist. And quite honestly, that would make for a pretty boring existence. When people ask me what I do for a living, I don't tell them what I do. I tell them why I do it. I'm making the world safer, healthier, and more productive, and making a great education accessible. This is my why. What is your why? Make sure to find what moves and inspires you, and not what others say is the way. If people are questioning the wisdom of your choice, you just might be on the right path for you.